Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you are doing well. Today we are here because there has been an announcement for 1.10. A new feature is being implemented in 1.10 that I personally think is going to be pretty big for map making in the future. I'm pretty excited. So we're here today because I want to explain you what it is and why it changes so much. Okay, so in 1.9 there were some new blocks added called structure blocks. Now you may have heard of these or you may not have heard of these. Possibly not because they're a little bit secretive. They're essentially developer blocks. We're not actually supposed to use them, but you can access them through stuff like set block. Now essentially what these guys do is they allow you to save and load structures. So when you see things like end cities, at World Gen they use these special structure blocks to load these structures from file into the world. So that's pretty cool, but like I said, these are developer tools, so we don't actually have access to them. So why am I mentioning them? Well, today Jeb actually tweeted that he'd been working on some new official textures for these blocks. Why? Because in 1.10 they're going to be adding these for the player base, us, to use in the game. This is really, really big news, and let me explain why this is so cool and what exactly this brings to the table. Right, so there is currently no way to share, export, import builds in Minecraft. This right here though is going to change that. So let's say I've built this house and I want to give it to my friend. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a structure block. This is the save structure block. Now this might not actually work exactly like this when it's officially implemented, but this is currently how it works. So we'll take the save structure block, and what this will do is it will look at the build and it will save the structure into a file in the structures folder. So you then go into your structures folder, take that file, then you put that file into a different world. Say for example, you could give that file to your friend and then they'll put that in their structures folder. Then your friend will come along, load it up with the load structure block, and that build will then appear in their world. So that's definitely pretty neat, but I've actually got a more focused example for map making, which I think is going to change a lot. So you may actually be familiar with something called in-one command block. It's this trend that people do where they take a command block, paste a really long command, and it summons in some kind of cool little command block system. It's pretty neat. In fact, there's actually a project going called Game Mode 4, which adds modules into the world to sort of enhance or change gameplay a little bit. Now, these are both actually pretty cool, but there's actually a bit of a problem with them, in that command blocks actually have a 32,000 character limit. You can only fit 32,000 characters, which actually isn't a lot of data. This means that these things are actually pretty limited in size and complexity of what they can do. This structure block changes everything though, because basically you can create pretty large, pretty complex command block systems, save them with the structure block, take that file and share it with people. They can then take that file and load it into their world to add big, complex command block structures into their world. Essentially like command block plugins. So to summarise, what this essentially allows us to do is to retroactively add content to pre-existing worlds, which I think is really, really cool. Just as another example actually, imagine you're a map maker, you've made a survival map, someone's been playing it for 2 hours, they're pretty invested in it, and suddenly they encounter a game-breaking issue. What do? Well, they'll have to wait for you to fix it and then start again. But not anymore, no, not anymore, because you can basically create a command block patch. So you create this little patch, save it as a structure, give it to the people who are affected, they can load it into their world, and it will basically fix the issue without having to restart the map, which I think would be pretty darn cool. But that's pretty much all we know for the time being. I'd like to know what you think about the structure block. Do you think it's going to be a game changer? Do you think it's going to do nothing? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.